Hello everyone, welcome to the channel ServiceNow Save. Today we are talking about, I can say, the most popular module of ServiceNow, that is Service Catalog. Service Catalog, it is being said that 95% of ServiceNow customer uses Service Catalog. So we'll go through it. Though it looks very simple, but that's not the case. It is very powerful, and if you having good knowledge of it, you are good in ITSM, you are good in CSM, you are good in HR. So almost all the BUs, right? All the business areas uses service catalog module. So that was powerful it is, right? Whatever module you work for, you should have good knowledge of service catalog. Whatever certification you do, you should have good knowledge of service catalog. So that much popularity it is holding, and also you should have deep knowledge of it, not the only the upper layer where you configure something and perform the action. So let us use this series to have very deep understanding of ServiceNow step by step. All right, so let's go straight away. Service catalog is basically a module defined to solve the use case where a customer can request for as a service or for item, right? So let's suppose you are joining an organization and you need a laptop, right? So you can request it, and that goes via the fulfillment process and all, and at the end, laptop delivered to you. So that is one kind of a product you are requesting for. Uh, let's suppose you are requesting for one shared drive access. That is a service you are requesting for. That also goes to a service catalog flow. So any service or any product that you request for from an organization, that can be done via the service catalog. So let's go ahead and see how this is being designed. So you can just type service catalog and you see that it has different options, right? So we'll go through it. Today we'll start with catalog, and then we'll go to category, catalog item, and all these, right? So first thing is, what is catalog? So you might have heard that service catalog is one of the catalog, basically in the system definition type, right? So if I say definition of catalog, it is a structured collection of services and products, as simple as that. So if you go and click on my catalog, you will see that basically if you're admin, you can go to maintain catalog. So if you go to maintain catalogs, you have uh, generally if you open in your own system out of the box, you'll have only two catalog, service catalog and critical catalog. The other two you are seeing because I installed some plugin from customer service side. That is why you see those two also added. So these are the catalog coming out of the box, which is the collection of product and services. And the most widely catalog is service catalog. So see the table. So all the catalog record will be available in a table called SC catalog. So this is the table, right? So if you open the service catalog, you'll have a collection of uh, categories as well as the catalog item. So what is categories now? Service catalog, sorry, the catalog is at parent level, and then comes the categories. Category is a logical grouping of services and products. So we can have service catalog which contains multiple categories. If you say that software is one category, so you can have some item under software, some item under hardware, or like a printer or desktop. These are the categories attached to one catalog item, right? And directly also. So here is the hierarchy, right? One catalog can have multiple categories. One categories can have multiple catalog items, right? So let us see the inflow. If I create a new catalog, let's go to service catalog. If I create new catalog, it is just required, like suppose I create test catalog. You don't need to mention any kind of categories here or any kind of manager or editor or all things. So this is like a you want to set certain user to manage this particular catalog. We'll not talk about this in detail now. Maybe when we go deep dive into the role management, we'll talk. So this is like simple, you create one catalog, right? So catalog is created. Under this catalog, the moment you saved it, you got the related list added, that is for categories and the catalog item, right? So if you go to categories and try to create a certain categories under the catalog item, let's suppose test one, right? So if you see this list, every categories will be attached to a particular catalog. So this is a reference field. So automatically it came, you can attach to any of the catalog available in the system, but it should be only one. So it's a one to many, like one category is attached to only one catalog, right? However, if you see, category can have the child category, right? So if this is my parent category, and if I try to create a new category under test one, I can do that. So let's suppose my test two will be part of same catalog. However, it can be under the parent category of test one. So that's how the hierarchy being. So I have a two category now, test one and test two, right? Now, so under the categories, you can create a catalog item, right? So that's the flow. One catalog, multiple categories, and under the one category, we can have multiple catalog item. So we went through that flow. Now let us see when I create a new catalog item. So this is the flow of new catalog item. This screen, if you observe, you have option to, let's suppose, test item, right? Now we have option to attach item to a particular catalog and particular categories, right? So since we came from that screen, that is why you see that this is already being selected. But however, let us create a fresh item, not from that screen, but if I create a maintain item, if you go directly from this flow, maintain item, that's basically a table called SC cat item. So we have a table for catalog called SC catalog, table for category called SC category, and for table of catalog item, we have SC cat item. If I create new catalog item from this screen, you see that uh, you have test item called test item, and then you have a box to choose the catalog. So here I can choose which catalog I want my item to be. And I can choose a number of catalog. Like I can also put like this item can be from test catalog and also from service catalog. However, if you see the category, this is a very vital point. I just want to first show you. If I choose only suppose test catalog, then my category selection will be only coming whatever category is available under test catalog, right? So that's why you see only test one, test two. However, if I attach my item to multiple catalog like test as well as service catalog, this reference field will have the value populated from both the catalog, right? So that's how the flow is. Let us go only with test catalog for now, and then you choose a category. Let's suppose I attach my item to test one category. Now you see, observe one thing. Though I can attach multiple catalog for my certain catalog item, right? I cannot attach multiple category because if you see, this is a reference field where you don't have the multiple category selection, right? Only one. But there is a catch here. If I simply save this item without doing anything, let's suppose I simply save it. I just choose catalog and the category. Now, if you observe that this is the all the rated list opened for the catalog item, and there we have catalog and categories. Now, if you observe that, there also we have option for new and edit. So I can go and click on edit here to associate my item with multiple categories. Though here we have chosen only one. Now, since I have chosen only test catalog, I can only associate my item with max of two categories, right? So I can also associate with two categories. Now, it's a contradiction to my point, right? I was showing you that one item can be part of only one category, right? That was the association here. However, if I see in this screen, I attached my item with both the category called test 1, test 2, and not only two. I can attach with multiple category based on the catalog I selected, right? So there is a very good question that why this screen is not enabling us. So that is how it is being designed, because service now want you associate one item with one category only. But if your requirement is such a way that you want to associate with multiple, they are not restricting you. So you can associate with the multiple category as well. Not only categories, multiple catalog item also you can associate from here. So that is how it works. One catalog item can have multiple categories, right? One categories can have multiple catalog item, but it's not one to many, it's many to many, right? Even one catalog item can have multiple categories and multiple catalog items. So that's the flow. Now, only one difference you might have observed that only one category can have only one catalog. It is definitely one. So you cannot create one category part of multiple catalog. That is not there, right? We can have one catalog part of multiple category. We can have one catalog item part of multiple catalog. Sorry, one catalog item part of multiple catalog. We can have one catalog with multiple category, but we cannot have one category part of multiple catalog. All right. So that's the category, catalog, and catalog item flow. Now, let us come back to our main table for today. It's called SC cat item. That's a catalog item. As I keep on telling you, this is the all the services and the product that we are referring and supporting for service catalog. These are all out of the box, right? 205 item is given. Generally, when customer provision the instance, they will not get these all because these are the out of the box data. They will have their own item created by the way we did create, right? We did create a catalog, we did create a category, and then we did create the catalog item as well. Now, let's observe the catalog item. Catalog item also are of different type. Though I am telling you, all the record is available in the table called SC cat item. Now let us see some catalog item that is available by default. A standard laptop, right? If I open this, you must be seeing that this is coming from a table called SC cat item, right? Now let us go back and open something different like access. So access is the one catalog item, but see the difference. You see the table. Table is not the SC cat item. It is a PC software cat item. So it is not always mandatory that your all catalog item will be from the table called SC cat item. It can be from the table that is child of SC cat item. All the table that extend the SC cat item can be called as a catalog item. That's one catch. Other than that, let us see one very good example. Let's suppose create incident. This is also we are telling a catalog item. However, if I open this, the table is not SC cat item. It is SC cat item producer. So there are you got it two type of item till now. You got it one that is the catalog item. Other one you got it as a SC cat item producer. These are called record producer. So you have separate menu for that, right? Uh, there is catalog item and there is something called record producer. If you go here, you will see the record producer. You have record producer, and that is all in under the table called SC cat item producer. So I was talking about this one. This is not a normal catalog item, but it's a record producer. So you see two term now, catalog item and other one is the record producer. What are the major difference in that? Definitely we have to deep dive because this is the root of service. We'll go through that. So catalog item is generally a service or a product. Let's suppose you want to order one laptop, right? For your need. That is a simple uh, catalog item that will be requested, and it will be having a fulfillment flow. We'll talk about that. And at the end, you receive the item. However, ServiceNow is supporting one term called record producer with the module called service catalog, and that is being generally being given to you to insert a record into a particular table. You have any table, right? So let's suppose I was talking about create incident. If I open a create incident, you will observe one thing. This is not the normal catalog item. It is having some special fields, right? It is having something called table. So record producer means you by using this particular RP or record producer, you want to insert a record into particular table. So we have a table called incident. If customer submit this at the end, a particular record will be available in the table called incident. So we have to choose a target table. If I create a, suppose we'll go to record producer menu, and if I create a new record, so new record, and then if you observe, it will always be asking you to tell the table, right? I can create that create problem. So that the problem RP I want to create, where the table name I'll give it as a problem, right? So when customers submit this record producer, the record will be inserted into a table called problem. So this is second type of catalog item. Then third type as well. Third type called order guide. So we talked about normal catalog item. Then we are talking about record producer, and the last one is order guide. So the third type of item is basically designed to submit a group of services together. Let us suppose company is uh, having the new hire, right? So for new hire employee, there can be different requirement. Employee might need a laptop, employee might need a phone, employee might need a new email address or access to certain share drive. They might need access, one monitor. So all these requests, the one way is they keep on creating the new catalog item for the employee, and employee has to submit all those items. Other way around is create one order guide. So there is a out of the box available order guide called new hire, right? So this order guide is also called as a catalog item, but of type order guide. Here you see there is a group of request or group of services can be requested together as a guide called order guide, right? So if you see how do they manage these all things? So there is something called rule base, right? So if customer or employee is requesting this new hire order guide, they will be requesting all these eight items together. What are those eight? Laptop, developer laptop, monitor, email account, suppose Apple iPhone, Galaxy, VPN access, and desk setup. So all these can be requested together as a bulk, so in a bundle, and that is called order guides. So we got it three types of catalog item now. Normal catalog item, example is standard laptop. Record producer, the example is create incident that is used to insert a record into a table. And the last is order guide to request something as a bundle. Now, order guide can contain two things, a normal catalog item as well as the record producer. How this can be requested? So let us see. Let's just change to the module called global. All right. So let us see if somebody is requesting, uh, let's suppose I'm requesting catalog item. Mhm. Okay. There is a maintain item. If I go there, we have a standard laptop. let's suppose somebody requesting the Apple iPhone 13, right? So there are multiple things here. Simply they have to go to try it. Of course, I'm showing you how can we request from the platform. There is other way to portal that we'll talk about in our subsequent sessions on service catalog. But if I click on try it, you see that this is the flow it has to go through the item, and then it has some variables, and that will be covered in the subsequent session. What is variable and what kind of variable and how these all configuration happens. But once they order, after filling all the mandatory field, if they order the catalog item, it goes to a separate flow. It goes to a flow of request item. Maybe we'll talk about. So this goes to a table called request item. So you get a request ID and you get a RITM called requested item. But when somebody submit the record producer, let's suppose we have a record producer called create incident. It is having different flow altogether. Create incident. Let us suppose, sorry, we have to go to maintain item first, and then we'll go to record producer, create incident, and from there we'll try to submit it. We'll see what how the flow is. So if click on try it for this RP, the flow is not as same as the normal catalog item. So understand this. When you see catalog item table, don't be confused. There can be different type of cat items. If you see, we have some mandatory, again, this is variables. We'll talk about which table hold this. This is very technical, and definitely we'll go and deep dive into the table structure, data model, and all this. But once I submit this, you might be observing that this did not go to request. You don't get the request or request item created. See, did you get request item? The answer is no. What you got? At the end, you got a record into a table called incident. So that was the goal of a record producer. So the complete different flow altogether. Similarly, if I go to order guide, just I talked about that, right? Order guide. So I have order guide called new hire. If I try this, it is having different flow altogether. Like because it is not having one item, you have to choose all the details, and at the end everything will be requested in a bulk. So all the mandatory field from all the different item and record producer, right? So mandatory field you submit it, and then you check out. These are all details, how many things are requesting for you, they will show detail. And once you check out, it goes to a complete different. So you have multiple requested item under the same request, and some of them are the record producer that gone into the uh, table. So that's how the structure is. There are three types of catalog item. We'll go and understand the detail about all the data model. uh, the flow is not simple. If you have the deeper knowledge, you can create the better system in any instance. Yeah, we'll not make this session mm, even longer. We'll have a subsequent session to go and deep dive to service catalog as a whole. Yeah, if you want to go along in journey to learn the service catalog, please like and subscribe this channel. And I'm open for any suggestions that you have to make it even more robust uh, sessions. Thank you so much. Thank you all.